Well, it's summertime, and that means that it's hot outside, if you hadn't noticed. That's generally how it works. It's generally how it has worked, as long as the Earth has had seasons. It's summertime, and then it gets hot, and that's like it's a process that we've seen play out a few times now, at least. And with the summer season comes certain traditions. People go on summer vacations, and they go to the pool, and they go to the beach, and the more stylish men break out their cargo shorts and all the rest of it. Lots of great, wonderful traditions. And then there's the not so great modern summer tradition of panicking hysterically because it's hot outside. And this is when the media, as it does every year, claims that the hot weather is a sign of our impending planetary doom. So here's CNN, just a quick clip we'll play for you, reporting on our, quote, heat hell. That's what they're calling it. It's not summer. It's not just hot out. It's a heat hell. Watch.
These long stretches of extreme heat are what they see as cause for alarm. That extreme heat is not just being felt here in the United States. It's being felt by millions of people all around the world as the heat wave sweeps across parts of Europe and Asia, too. One top climate group warns that, quote, heat hell is worldwide at the moment, and that those extreme temperatures are nothing short of dangerous. Bill Weir, we don't usually see these record-breaking temperatures that we usually until later in the summer. Why is this summer expected to be hotter than last summer?
Cooling patterns in the Pacific there, which actually hid a lot of the pent-up energy in the oceans, which have been hiding a lot of the heat for the last century or so. Right now, every second of every day, our planet absorbs as much extra heat as 10 Hiroshima-sized atomic bombs per second. And now we're seeing the full result of that. Now, we have wildfire smoke, which is a result of drier forests up in Canada and easier burning conditions there. We have those devastating flash floods that took the lives of those children, as you were describing, north of Philadelphia. Those are the results. But heat is really the engine of all of this. A warmer planet holds too much water in some places, not enough in others, and the rate that it's going up now, scientists are used to seeing sort of ocean temperature records broken by a half a degree. It's been shattered by 5 degrees in the North Atlantic.
So in other words, it's hot. Yes, it is hot. The hottest it's ever been, they tell us. It's never been hotter than this. Representative Ilhan Omar tweeted this. This is the claim that she's making, and not just her. She said, the Earth just broke the record for the hottest day in 120,000 years. In fact, we broke in on 3 separate days. We broke it, I think she meant to say. We broke it on 3 separate days. National climate emergency now. Wow. The hottest day in 120,000 years. Now, I mean, that sounds pretty bad. I admit. If we just experienced the hottest day in 120,000 years, then something's going on. Like that's bad news. Probably. We still couldn't do anything about it. You can't actually do anything about it, but that would be bad news. The hottest day in 120,000 years, that's significant at the very least. But before you go building your ark in preparation for the coming worldwide floods from the polar ice caps melting and all the rest of it, you should take some solace in the fact that what Ilhan Omar has claimed here is total, absolute nonsense. Okay, that's the one. There's really only one problem with it. The one problem is that it's completely bogus. Other than that, it's true. Other than the fact that it's entirely false, it's actually true. Now, how do I know that it's bogus? Well, because needless to say, we do not have daily temperature records dating back 120,000 years. Okay, so you can't say it's the hottest day in 120,000 years because that would require you to know how hot it has been every day for the last 120,000 years, and you don't know that. Nobody does. In fact, we can't get anywhere close to that in terms of our records. And that's why it's not possible to go and look and find out what the weather was like on, say, August 7th in the year 4000 BC, much less the year 40,000 BC. That information does not exist. We have no idea. It was not recorded. So what the hell is she babbling about? I mean, where is Omar and where's the rest of the media getting this? Is she getting it from her own fevered imagination? Sort of, but not entirely. Her imagination is being fed by the media. So The Hill, for example, published an article with this headline a couple weeks ago. And here's the headline. We're experiencing Earth's hottest weather in 120,000 years, and it's just getting started. So that's probably pretty directly where she got it from. Although even there, you see, that's not exactly the same claim. She said this is the hottest day in 120,000 years, but the headline is we're experiencing Earth's hottest weather, which is a little bit more vague. But even so, how do they know that? I mean, how could they possibly know that we're experiencing the hottest weather in 120,000 years? Well, they answer that question, or they pretend to answer it anyway, with this. So I'm reading now. It says, how can experts be so confident of these bold assertions? As a climate specialist, I'll do my best to explain. It's all fairly simple and fully expected by the climate science community. First, researchers know using observations that temperatures over the past decade have been warmer than any ever seen since record-keeping began in the 1800s. Since then, Earth has warmed by 1.2 degrees Celsius or 2 degrees Fahrenheit. Scientists also know, through sophisticated methods of examining copious climate clues in proxy data like tree rings, ice cores, ocean sediments, etc., that Earth's average temperature has not been this warm since the Ice Age ended 20,000 years ago. Between 10,000 years ago and today's rapid man-made warming, Earth's average temperature was relatively constant, allowing human civilization to thrive. There were disruptive regional cooling episodes like the disparate Little Ice Age events, but the impact on overall global temperature was relatively minor. Since at the peak of the last ice age, Earth's average temperature is about 10 degrees cooler than today, and it's not been this warm since the last ice age, we call that time the last interglacial, in between glacial periods, which peaked around 125,000 years ago. Okay. So that's it. That's the science. Using proxy data like tree rings and ocean sediments, scientists can come up with a guess as to the average global temperature dating back thousands of years, supposedly. My friends over at Genucel sold out of their dark spot corrector, and our listeners have been begging for a restock. Well, I have great news. Just in time for the summer, it's back in stock. Genucel's famous dark spot corrector has not one, but 3 cutting-edge ingredients and goes to work fast to target sunspots, dark spots, liver spots, and even old discoloration, both on your face and your hands. You can now enjoy your summer sun, beach, and barbecues without embarrassing spots and all the rest of it. Genucel's most popular package also features their summer essentials, like the best-selling Ultra Retinol Moisturizer with a powerful retinol alternative for safe use in the sun. You'll be amazed at how quickly you'll see results, or 100% of your money is guaranteed back to you. If you, like me, are genuinely very, very, very worried about the heat hell that we are all experiencing and how it will impact your glowing vacation skin. Who cares about the destruction of the planet? What I'm worried about is what your skin, your complexion looks like. You should check out Genucel's wide range of products, especially the dark spot corrector. You know, if you also want to look like a healthy, normal human, go to Genucel.com/WalshYT right now to get your dark spot corrector in the Genucel most popular package. That's Genucel.com/WalshYT right now and save over 70% on Genucel's most popular package. All orders will include a mystery luxury gift while supplies last. Genucel.com/WalshYT. But here's the problem. Well, there are too many problems to count, but here's one. Even if these guesses are correct or approximately correct, and that's a big if, okay, they are averages. They are not precise daily measurements. Okay, Ilhan? That's not what they are. You can't look at a tree ring, Ilhan, and find out what the temperature was at 4:56 p.m. on July 13th in the year 7 AD. Tree rings are not that specific. Just doesn't work that way. Which means that the claim that yesterday was the hottest day in over 100,000 years, or 120,000 years, is not supported by any science at all. It just is not. There's no basis for it. Even the more ambiguous, more vague version of that claim, there is still no science for it. There simply isn't. None at all. Now, so that's all nonsense. But there's one other point that I have to make here, and this is, so if there's a tradition of panicking over the hot weather, or at least some people, the media, Democrats panicking over it, the other tradition is where it seems like every year I have to explain what I'm about to explain here, and it's this. And I know for a lot of you this is not going to be news to you, but just bear with me because there are some people who need to hear it. Now, here's what I'll tell you. If you're wondering about the hot weather, you're looking around and you're saying, wow, man, it's hot out. Where's all this hot weather coming from? Where is it coming from? Is it coming from my SUV that I drive to the store? Is that where it's coming from? Is it coming from all the cows farting and sending methane gas into the air? Is that what it is? Well, I'll point your gaze in a different direction, although don't look directly at it. Because in case you hadn't noticed, there is up in the sky, about 90 million miles away, a giant glowing ball of gas, which is big enough to fit 1 million Earths inside of it, and it burns at its core at about 27 million degrees Fahrenheit. It is so big and so powerful that its gravitational pull extends 50,000 astronomical units into space. And one astronomical unit is 93 million miles. So 93 million times 50,000, you do the math on that. That's how far this object's influence extends. In modern terms, you might even say that, what I'm talking about here is the sun, if you didn't already guess. The sun is the greatest influencer in the solar system. You could search all of TikTok, and you would find very few influencers who are as influential as the sun. That's how influential it is. So here's my point. That big old thing in the sky, that glowing ball of gas, we just heard a comparison to atomic bombs. Well, the sun generates the equivalent of like several billion atomic bombs of energy every second. And that's what calls the shots on Earth. It determines the temperature. It determines everything in terms of weather. And it could get the sun could get a case of indigestion tomorrow and burp and knock out our entire power grid, send us back to the Stone Age. That thing is what you can blame the temperature on. And until you figure out a way to literally control the sun, there is basically nothing we can do to intentionally and significantly raise, lower, or otherwise affect the temperature on Earth, because you're going to be competing with that thing in the sky there. And that's what we are not as significant as apparently we are not as powerful. We are not as powerful as many people, especially corporate media, apparently think we are. If you'd like to see what else I have to say, you can access my full show by going to dailywire.com or by going to the Matt Walsh Show Twitter page. Hope to see you there. Godspeed.